regard, defamation cases as maybe the most important or the most profound cases there are, because we only get one reputation, and you don't get a second chance once it's destroyed. To have your reputation destroyed is really to ruin everything about you. It ruins you, it ruins your family's view of you, it ruins your neighbor's view of you. You go to a party, you don't know who's looking at you sideways because they heard, you're a this or you're a that. It is an extraordinarily difficult thing to live with. And for that reason, when we represent defamation clients, it really is the most profound type case we could be handling.
Welcome to the JAKIB Halftime Report, brought to you by Baquetto and Lens. We are coming to you live from inside Ocean Casino Resort's Gallery Bar Booking Games. I'm Devan Kaney. I'm going to bring in my colleague Marc Farzetta, coming to us live from Philadelphia. Eagles lead the Cowboys 20-3 at the half. Marc, how are we feeling over there?
Like every city in America wants to be us, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them even a little bit, Devin. I feel incredible. You're dominating the Dallas Cowboys right now. Micah Parsons has been rendered almost obsolete by an amazing game plan by the Philadelphia Eagles. I am just blown away by Nick Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon. Now, some people might say it's easy, you got Cooper Rush, that's fine. But you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing against a far inferior opponent when it comes to this defense of the Philadelphia Eagles versus that offense of the Dallas Cowboys. So I am just beside myself, as all as Philadelphia is right now, with how this team is performing.
Well, you bring up Jonathan Gannon. My probably two favorite moments from that first half, there were many to choose from, but were those two interceptions, almost three actually by the end there. First by C.J. Gardner-Johnson and then Darius Slay. You mentioned Jonathan Gannon. Let's talk about this secondary. I mean, they're going off today. They're doing exactly what I wanted them to do to Cooper Rush.
Well, during the pregame show, Devin, I was talking to Seth Joyner and Derek Gunn, your colleagues as well, about how good a guy like Micah Parsons was. And coming into this game, he was getting after the quarterback and a lot of times forcing bad throws for a guy like Trayvon Diggs to come in and try to break things up. Well, Diggs came into this game with 9 passes defended, most in the NFL, led in that category. Now in this game, thanks to our man James Bradbury having 4 passes defended, he is now tied for the NFL lead in that category, much thanks to the way he's been able to perform in this game tonight, and he has been incredible. That great tip drill he had basically with C.D. Deuce on the interception was great, and then you're right, could have had another one not that far after as well. So what this secondary has been doing, and Darius Slay getting in on it as well, I am just absolutely amazed with how this Eagles defense is doing exactly what they should be doing against this Cowboy offense.
Now, I am going to let you go shortly, Marc, because we do have John McMullen live at the link. So, and Marc is gone. Let's bring in John McMullen, who's coming to us live from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Standing by for him. We are efforting John McMullen, as we say. If you're just tuning in, Eagles lead the Cowboys 20-3 at the half. We're breaking it all down. Devan Kaney coming to you from Ocean Casino Resort, the Gallery at Bar Booking Games, and now we have John McMullen coming to us from Lincoln Financial Field. John, Eagles lead the Cowboys 23 at the half. First things first, Lane Johnson was not out there on that last offensive drive by the Eagles. Is everything okay? Do you have any update on him?
We don't know the injury yet, Devin. He went in the blue medical tent, then left for the locker room a little bit early. Obviously, Jack Driscoll was in for that final play, so we'll be looking very intently to see if Lane is back to start the second half, or if it's a little bit more serious. But we're still, as you said with me, we're still efforting on that with Lane. But obviously, that late in the half, it's not. It's kind of normal to send somebody into the locker room. So if he doesn't come out, it's time to get it's time to start to get a little bit more concerned.
Okay, let's talk about this first half. Pretty impressive performance by the Eagles, to say the least. They're doing most of the things that we want them to do. I was just talking with Marc Farzetta about the defense, especially the secondary's performance, but I want to talk to you about the offense. Still putting up a lot of points in the second quarter, which, I mean, I'll take it. But how do they continue this now into the second half?
Well, I mean, it's part, you talk about the second quarter stuff. Part of it is just sort of circumstance. They scored, I think, on the first play of the second quarter. So obviously they were in a position. As far as continuing, yeah, we've kind of looked at this team, and I always say games have personalities, Devin, and there were certain games earlier in the season that the Eagles didn't really have a sense of urgency against Minnesota or Washington for that matter. So part of it can be explained by that. But yeah, you would like to see them play a little bit more consistently and keep on this Cowboys team in the second half. But I got to tell you, everything went to plan. I mean, this is exactly what they wanted to happen. They wanted to get the lead. They wanted to force Cooper Rush to throw the football. The Cowboys are not built to play from behind. Nobody wants to play from behind, but we all know there's certain teams that can do it. This is probably not one of them. And you saw Cooper Rush, give him credit. He's won 4 consecutive games. He's won 5 starts in his career. But Cooper Rush turned into Cooper Rush in the first half here. 5 for 16, a 1.0 passer rating, 2 interceptions. I mean, the Eagles smothered him, and he's clearly not prepared to come back from a deficit like this. This is exactly what the Eagles wanted, Deb.
Yeah, and speaking of what they wanted, Nick Sirianni's game plan is clearly working. I want to go back to early in the game when they converted on 4th down, I believe, twice, and then it turned into that A.J. Brown touchdown. And then with the Mailata kind of forced penalty that was to end the first quarter going into the second quarter, and Nick Sirianni, they showed him on the sideline, clearly really fired up. I mean, talk to me about his game planning for this Cowboys team and how well he's doing.
Yeah, it was a very good game plan. This team has been very good with their openers pretty much all year. Now, they didn't score, as we said, until the first play of that second quarter. So, but you could see the play calling from Shane Steichen, which has been a strength. They're moving the football. We talked about it every week. It's somebody different. We're back to sort of an A.J. Brown game. He was very effective in the first half. They run the ball well. A little bit late getting to it, but Miles Sanders has run the football well. For those critics who say Jalen never throws passing touchdowns, well, you saw that, so you can check that box off. Just an all-around very good half. And then the defense was swarming, and the interceptions. James Bradbury has played a phenomenal first half with the pass breakups. He set up the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson interception. That throw that Slay picked off was incredibly late, so they're in the head of Cooper Rush. The defense was even better than the offense, but it's tough to complain about that first half for the Eagles. It was dominant.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and let's hope that they can continue it in the second half. John McMullen, thank you so much for joining me from Lincoln Financial Field. Keep the energy up over there.
Thanks, Devin.
All right, that's going to do it for our JAKIB Halftime Report, but tune in right after the game ends for the Pond the Hockey post-game show. We will be coming to you live from Ocean Casino Resort.
Regard, defamation cases as maybe the most important or the most profound cases there are, because we only get one reputation, and you don't get a second chance once it's destroyed. To have your reputation destroyed is really to ruin everything about you. It ruins you, it ruins your family's view of you, it ruins your neighbor's view of you. You go to a party, you don't know who's looking at you sideways because they heard, you're a this or you're a that. It is an extraordinarily difficult thing to live with. And for that reason, when we represent defamation clients, it really is the most profound type case we could be handling.